Hello, dear children. Let's start and continue with the topic. So, when it comes to British rule, the British rule started from 1765 and it goes on till 1836. Religious leaders preached ideas like untouchability and child marriages. Actually, the evil practices in India started from this period only, right from 1765. Some religious leaders, I don't know what is their motto, what is their idea regarding preaching such kind of ill practices among Indians, and what is the utility of preaching such kind of things. I can't even understand till now. Two things they have supported. One is the child marriages, and the other one is untouchability. Okay, in those days, Brahmins are well treated, and those who are non-Brahmins, they are looked down. They were not given any kind of priority in the society. Okay, it's a kind of mm, practice that started. Actually, this is a kind of okay. We are not supposed to consider anyone low. We are not supposed to consider anyone down. Okay, all of us, we must have humanity, and with this humanity, we should love and we should give priority to everyone equally. But in those days, the scenario was completely different. Okay, untouchability was there. Non-Brahmins are treated very low, and Brahmins are given high priority. Anyone who crosses the seas loses his religion. Okay, after getting studies in India, if anybody wanted to continue their higher studies, if they wanted to go out, if they wanted to go to foreign countries abroad and study, they used to come and tell like this, because Hinduism is completely based on horoscopy and astrology, isn't it? Depending upon astrology only, they used to take the step. Even now also, okay, we have too much of ethnicity, and we believe certain kinds of practices, and we have too many rituals. We are very very sentimental when it comes to Indians. Okay, some Indian families, those who have studied very well, if they wanted to continue their studies in abroad, they were not being allowed. Why? This kind of religious preachers and astrologers used to say like this: if anyone crosses the sea, okay, they are just losing their religion, and they are not supposed to be considered as the good Hindu. Anyone who crosses the seas loses his religion. Actually, he is not supposed to go with his religion because he is crossing his limits. He is not supposed to leave the place and cross the seas and move away to some other unknown land. This is all a kind of ill practices. They were very very popular in those days. All the misery in the world is due to women. Some people started preaching like this. Okay, most of the problems we are facing, that's only because of women. Do you believe that? Okay, because of women, can anyone get troubles? Because of women, we are not getting progression. Do you believe in such kind of things? But those days, the people were very, very sentimental, and there was a kind of narrow-mindedness was developed in them. So everybody started believing this kind of things. Women, or just like, okay, whenever they say women, no, they used to say like this: you are like Shani. Okay, it means you have no place in the life of man, and all the misery, all these troubles, burdens. Okay, these are all occurred only because of these women. Okay, without women, we cannot imagine any family. But in those days, people used to think like that because of this kind of religious leaders. Can we believe such kind of religious leaders? Those who are preaching wrong things. Okay, and the truth was that Indians had lost self-respect. The British scorned them. Okay, the truth was that Indians had lost self-respect. Why we Indians had no self-respect in those days? Why, Britishers used to use us like their slaves, and they used to treat us so low because we are blacks and we are Indians. Okay, we have no progression. We are not literate people. Those are We are illiterate ones. They are literate ones. So illiterate people and black skinned people, Indians, are treated very, very low. Okay, they are depriving like anything. The truth was that Indians had lost self respect, the British scorned them, the natives are unworthy of trust, incapability of honesty. How they were talking about Indians, we are so incapable. We don't know anything. We don't have any supremacy in any of the fields. Okay, we are illiterates. We cannot do anything. Even if we start doing anything, we'll just face failure. This kind of wrong teachings they started discussing among themselves. And the natives are unworthy. We are not worthy. We are not up to the mark. We will not be given any good status because we are illiterates. We shouldn't be done anything. Why? We had no brains. Okay, we had no brains, and we will not be given any, we wouldn't be given any kind of status in society because we are not worthy to have them. We are all incapable people. So they just considered Indians as incapable people. True, you're honored, but I'm honest. See, some Indians, what do we call them? The people, those are just leaking the secrets of our own country, and they're just going at the side of the other, and they're just revealing all the secrets and doing favor to somebody. What do we call them? What is the opposite word for a patriot? You just think and tell me. What is the opposite word for patriot? I'm not gonna reveal this word to you. Okay, you have to do it. Patriot, one who loves the country, who had a great respect towards, who have great respect towards his own country, is always considered as, what do we call them? Patriot. What is the opposite word for patriot? Just think about the opposite word for patriot. Okay, and one of the persons, okay, he says that I'm the only honest person from India, but rest of my people are dishonest. See how cruel and how cunning this fellow is. And being merchants, the British wanted quick profits. Their heavy taxes forced the farmers to abandon their fields. They used to fix up high taxes upon farmers. Why? They just wanted to make money. What is the purpose of coming to India? In order to occupy the land, and they wanted to use their force upon Indians. Okay, they fixed up. They used to collect more taxes from Indians. And some farmers, some poor farmers, they cannot pay the taxes much, and they just left. Abandon means to leave. They left their lands, they left their farms to Britishers because they cannot pay so much of taxes to the people. So what did they do? They used to leave their land. They used to leave their farms for Britishers only. The Britishers collected all the land and they have taken under own their control. But your men are taking all my crops. See, you are still in arrears. If you don't pay next week, I will send you to jail. See, some people are troubling them. Some Britishers, some white-skinned people, these white men started troubling the farmers. They said that you have got some arrears, so you need to pay some fee. Otherwise, you will not be given your land and you will be sent to jail. They used to blackmail them. They used to blackmail them. And you are still in arrears. If you don't pay next week, I will send you to jail. They said like that. But your men are taking all my crop. See, after you have taken my crop and still you are blackmailing me. This is not at all right thing to do. Okay, you are not at all doing the right thing. They can't even talk back to them. They are not supposed to talk back to any British policeman. Because if they are not giving up the land, even after taking up the land also, some farmers were really troubled by the British police. Okay, still the British invented other methods which gave them more profits. Actually, they wanted to get more profits. Okay, either hook or crook, they just wanted to get all the benefit from India. See, all the treasure, wealth, everything that they have collected, they were not just satisfied with that. They started collecting the farms, they started collecting the fields, okay, on the crop. Okay, if they are not paying the taxes on time, what did they do? They catch hold of all the okay area, some acres of land. It has come under their own control because they just fixed high taxes upon them, and inevitably famine followed between 1822 and 1836. 15 lakh Indians died of starvation. See, we are very very unfortunate in those days. That is occurred in 1822 and it continued up to 1836. Famine strike India. Okay, we were stricken by the famine. It's one of the natural disasters. No food grains are occurred. Okay, lack of food. Many people starved. Because of starvation, they were even dead, and they were all died of starvation. And the British, see here, the goods manufactured in England should not have any import duty when brought into India. See, duty will be collected, tax must be collected. The goods which are manufactured in England, they can be brought to India without collecting any tax. Because here, who are there? Not Indian rulers. Indian rulers were all under the control of the Britishers. So British only ruling this India. So whenever from England any goods are being okay, imported to India, okay, importing from there to here India, whenever they are bringing the goods, okay, they were not collecting any duty. Duty when they brought into India. Duty in the sense the taxation, the transport taxation, okay, will not be collected in. It was not being collected in India. Why, you know? Because the Britishers are ruling India in those times, so they had not taken with their rule only, under their own rule. It was not being collected. The money or the duty or the tax was not being collected. Freely they used to import the goods from directly from England. So let's continue this lesson in the next class. Until then, goodbye.